Hello, my name is Natalia Willette and I'm an attorney here in the state of Florida, and today I wanted to talk to you about estate planning. And the topic of today's conversation is guardians for our children. All of us parents know that our biggest fear is not being around for our children, especially when they're little, especially when they're young. And the last thing we want to think about is what would happen to them if we're not around. But the reality is that 8% of children lose a parent before they are the age of 18, and 15% of people have lost up to both of their parents by the time that they're 25 years old. So it happens more often than you'd like to think. So in order to prevent our children being taken into the custody of the state, last thing we want is for them to be with complete strangers, right? We need to establish guardianship provisions. And what is guardianship? Well, there's two ways to think about it, or two things in which we should examine it. One is the long-term guardian, and that's generally what people think of when they say in their will, and I want Aunt Katie and Uncle Joseph to be the ones that take care of my child Johnny in the event that I or Johnny's other parent is no longer around, right? But a provision in your will isn't very useful if you're alive but in an incapacitated condition where you can't have physical care of your child. Same thing if your spouse, or even if your ex-spouse is no longer around or they're in the same condition, right? So in that gap period when you might be living, or you might be deceased, but there's space in between a person being appointed a permanent guardian, you have what's called short-term guardianship. Short-term guardianship are those first responders who are there for your kid, so your kid is never taken into the custody of the state, put into a foster home to sit and wait out in the worst moment of their lives with complete strangers. So that is the concept of guardians for your children, and guardianship provisions, both short-term and long-term guardianship provisions. And if you want to have a conversation with us to find out how you can protect your kids in the event that the worst happens, because this is not a 1 in a million chance, this is an 8 in 100 or 15 in 100 chance that it'll happen. So it happens, and it happens frequently. Then go ahead and give us a call. If you like more videos like this, then please feel free to subscribe to our channel. And remember, you are here for your children. They are your legacy.